which is quite exciting because it's nearly Christmas. But it's also the first day of the Book for the Holidays readathon, which I'm also excited about. Today I'm planning to start reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I'm really hoping that I'll enjoy it, because the last book that I read, if you've seen my most recent vlog, you'll know that it was utter torture for me. I really didn't like it. Like, I hated it. And so, yeah, I don't think I can deal with 2 bad books in a row. Most of what I've heard about this book, however, is good things. The only thing is, I have a friend who also likes reading, and she said she read these, or I think she only read this one, and she didn't like them. So, yeah, we're gonna hope that I disagree with her opinion, basically. I'll probably start this while I'm at school today, and then... Okay, it's now about 3:30, and I have, while I was at school, I got to page like 20, so I'm not that far into A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I am really liking it so far, and I want to read more, like right now. I've just suddenly got the motivation to read, which is always very good, so I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity and read. Okay, I'm now like this far through. I'm on page, I think, 47, and I am actually really liking it. I really like the way that it's set up with like the chapter, and then it's got like Pip's kind of log of her like report. So far there's no one that like outright stands out as the murderer. I'm not gonna talk too much about this kind of thing because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, even though I'm not that far through. But there are a couple of people that are like, oh, they're a bit suspicious. They both have like motivations to do it and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, I'm really liking it. It's very good. Okay, so I'm getting quite far through. I'm gonna be honest, it's really good. I literally can't put this book down, and I honestly thought I wouldn't really like it that much, just because often with like such popular books, I set really high expectations for myself. I'm like, oh my god, it's so popular, I'm gonna love it. All these other people love it, so why wouldn't I? And then like I read it, and I think that just makes it a bit worse because it's like, oh, it didn't meet my high expectations. Whereas this, it's like, I think first of all, I haven't set majorly high expectations for it, but I was a bit like, there's got to be something good about it for so many people to love it. And I can see why. It's really gripping. I'm like, oh my god, I need to know what happened. I've finished part 1 of the book, and I think one thing that makes me really like this book is like the report updates that she does, usually towards like the end of most chapters. There are a couple that don't have them, and I find them less exciting to read than the other ones that do. And I don't know why, I just really like it. I want to read more, but at the same time I don't want to read like more than part 1 today, really, or like right now. I don't know why, like I keep wanting to know what happens, but at the same time I think I want to try and limit myself at least a little bit. So, yeah. I know, as per usual, I look a bit of a mess. Ignore it. I haven't read much today, like at all, because I read a bit at school, and then I've been at school all day, and then I went around to my friend's house after school. So, yeah, I haven't really had many opportunities. Hi. I know the quality is really bad. Such bad lighting right now. It's just ruining everything. But today I read a bit more of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but not loads. So I think I'm gonna read a bit more now because I do want to finish it ASAP. So I'm now on part 3. I have this much left, which I reckon I can finish that quite fast. So that's great. I just finished this book. I read a lot of it. Wow. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But like, read this book, please. It's really good. It's like, especially if you're looking for a good murder mystery, I think you should 100% check it out. I've had a little while to like collect my thoughts now, and it is still really good. I would still recommend it. The only thing that I was kind of confused about was like, it's a trilogy, but there is nothing in here that leads on to the fact that maybe there's more to come, really. Like, I don't want to spoil it, and that makes me think it's not so good, the trilogy, and honestly I'm not sure that I want to read the rest of the books. And the other thing is, if you do want to check it out, I just want to say a quick trigger warning. First of all, very much a trigger warning for death and kidnapping and suicide, and then there's also sexual assaults and drugs. I think that's all. You might want to just like look up a list of trigger warnings look it up online before you read the book, just in case, because yeah. But other than that, it's great. So I came into this book thinking it will probably be like a bit overrated, but it's not. Like, I know it's one of the most popular YA murder mystery books at the moment. They said One of Us is Lying, and I've read One of Us is Lying, and I know that is overrated, as are quite a few popular young adult books at the moment. But so I kind of had low expectations for this, especially after the last book that I finished, which was so bad. I was like, ugh. And I mean, maybe I'm like overreacting a bit because the last book that I read was like one of the worst things I think I've ever read. But I really did like this. I would 100% recommend it to anyone who loves a good murder mystery. It's got like lots of twists, but not ones that you don't particularly see coming, like in One of Us is Lying, which is a slight spoiler, but it's fine. Like, there are references to other things that we find out later on in this, and wow. Hi, it's editing now here. I just wanted to quickly give my final thoughts on the book. It's like the day after I finished it, and I just updated my Goodreads about it as well, and apparently now I've finished my reading challenge for the year, which is quite exciting. But I just wanted to give like my final review, because I think last night when I was talking about it, I was a bit like kind of in the moment thinking about it, if you know what I mean. And sometimes I find that with reviewing books, I need time to like let it sink in a bit. So I've thought it over. I think I'm giving it a 4.5 to a 5, like in the middle stars, like rating. I did still really enjoy it, and I would still recommend if you are looking for a good mystery. I also last night I spoke with Zoe about it on FaceTime because she bought it for me, and she was saying how we were talking about the trilogy, and I mentioned my thoughts on how like it didn't really have anything that seemed to lead into the trilogy, and she was like kind of explaining it to me, or yeah, she didn't spoil it or anything, but it has changed my mind about the trilogy, and I think I will probably end up reading the second book and then eventually the third book as well at some point. So yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did and you haven't already, I'd appreciate you subscribing and also liking the video. Yeah, thank you. Bye.